Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. Well, hey friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. And before we dive into this week's topic, one that is near and dear to my heart, which is the importance of clarifying your values, especially as you navigate the transformative journey of your midlife years. I want to catch you up on a couple of things before we talk about this week's topic. So first of all, did you know that you can watch my episodes over on YouTube? That's right. In fact, you can click the link in the show notes. It'll take you straight over to YouTube. You can see me. You can see my guests. Most of my episodes now have the video recording that go along with the actual audio. However, some of them don't, but I'm going to, in the future, do a much better job of bringing you the video as well. So not only are my interviews now recorded, the solo episodes are recorded. And why is that important? Well, I really want you to see my makeup today. I am loving my new makeup, and I want to share with you guys a little bit about this makeup. Now, y'all know I turned 50 this summer, and the past couple of years I've been using the same stuff. It's worked great, but I was looking for something that wasn't so thick, wasn't so heavy, gave me more of a natural glow. And I came across Laura Geller on my Instagram feed. I'm sure I had something like Midlife typed in, and lo and behold, I'm getting all of these ads for Laura Geller, and I finally just said, fine. I finally said bye. I would buy it because Angie Harmon was using her makeup, and I absolutely love Angie Harmon from back in her Law and Order days. Just think she's just gorgeous. So I got curious, and I went ahead and ordered the Cult Classic Kit. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the makeup. In fact, I did a review over on my Instagram page. So head on over to Instagram. You can find me at Lisa Mustard Podcaster, and you're going to see a reel or a video that I did on what I got and the different colors and how you put it on. It's really amazing. I can't believe how easy and simple it is. I'd never heard of Laura Geller. I'm so glad I went ahead and bought the kit. I'm wearing it today in this video. It's real natural. And I don't get, I'll put a referral link in the show notes if you guys want to check it out. I think you get $5 off your first order, and I get a bunch of points, which means that, in the future, when I order Laura Geller, I get points, I get stuff, I don't even know, but I love it so much. I want to encourage y'all, you ladies, especially if you're 35 and up and you're looking for a way to, just feel amazing in your skin and you want some new makeup, definitely check out Laura Geller. Okay, so that's the first thing on the list I want to tackle with you guys. The second thing is that I have changed the podcast description just a little bit. So in the past, the description of the podcast really spoke to mental health professionals. And over the years, I have picked up listeners who are interested, who are interested in mental health topics, emotional health topics. They're not counselors per se, but they enjoy learning about the latest in the world of talk therapy. And I've been listening to their requests, topics that they want me to cover, and pivoted my content just a little bit so I can encompass this broader audience that I have picked up. I still truly believe this podcast is a niche podcast, but it's really cool to think that I've brought in some listeners that aren't clinicians or aren't in the clinical world, but those who are just curious about talk therapy. So welcome everybody, new and old. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so on your favorite podcast player. And if you're up for it, you want to leave me a rating and review over on Apple or Spotify, I would be forever grateful. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, one more thing. You may have heard me talking about this free ebook that I have created on my most recent episodes with the Shrink Think guys. By the way, if you didn't catch those podcast takeover episodes, I highly recommend going back. We talk about attachment styles, and we talk about how our attachment styles show up in our parenting, and how we hope that we're good enough parents and we aren't messing up our kids. So those are really fun episodes to do. Love Aaron and Nathan from Shrink Think. So I'll put the links in the show notes for y'all to listen to those episodes. I have some other episodes on attachment styles as well, where I explain, what they are. So definitely check those out. But what was my point? Oh, my point is I have a free ebook that is titled 15 Easy Habits That Support Your Mental Health. And guess what? Along with this amazing, I think amazing and valuable guide, you'll also get a self-care checklist to keep you on track. It is fantastic. I wrote it and I genuinely believe that it can make a difference. So if you want to just click pause on this episode, head over to the link in the show notes and grab your free copy. Trust me, you won't regret it. You'll also then be on my email list where I'll just, share some stuff every now and then. I do not email like every day. I mean, I try to email my list once a week. But with being a busy mom, a busy wife, a busy therapist, podcaster, all of the things, sometimes it doesn't happen. So I promise I won't be bombarding you with emails. And you can always write me back when I send you an email. I get a majority of my emails. I read them, especially from the ones on my email list. So I would love to connect with you guys via email. Okay, so let's talk about this week's topic. I truly believe that it is super important and we do not talk about it enough. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Marissa Wells. She's a LPC. What state is she in? Arkansas, I think. Oh gosh, Marissa, I hope I get it right. But anyway, Marissa is an LPC and she did a post on Instagram talking about values. And I was like, yeah, we don't talk about values enough. So I thought, why not bring it back on the podcast? I have talked about it on the podcast before, but I really want to talk about why we even need to clarify our values. Why is it so crucial? Why do we need to clarify our values, especially in midlife? Well, our values act as a compass. That when we're faced with choices, our values are the things that guide us towards what aligns with our true selves. Whether it's a career change, relationship issue, problem, or personal goals, knowing your values helps you make decisions with confidence. I couldn't make half the decisions that I have to make if I didn't know what my values are and what I stand for. And understanding your values, it really helps bring clarity to what truly matters to you. So it's a journey of self discovery and allows you to understand your motivations, desires, and your passions. And what happens next is when you identify your values, not only do you have that enhanced self awareness, you are now living in congruency or congruently and authentically. Living in alignment with your values ensures that your actions and decisions resonate with your inner self. It's the essence of you living authentically. Okay. And when you honor your values, you honor yourself, and this boosts your self worth and self respect. So, how do you identify your values? That's really the juicy part of this conversation, right? It's like, how can you identify your core values? And when I first was asked that question, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know how to identify my values. In fact, I didn't know how to answer that question when my coach many 10 years ago asked me that question. But I think the easiest way to understand what your values are through the following different exercises. So reflect on your past experiences. Think about moments in your life when you felt incredibly proud or conversely deeply disappointed. What was going on? What was happening? What values were being honored or dishonored? I think that's really important. For me, I know I've shared this with you guys in the past. Family focus, family first, that is my number one value, my number one priority. And I know pretty quickly when I'm not living up to that value. I have a pretty good take on myself and in the situation when I'm not showing up in alignment with that value. You probably have a sense. You probably know when you're not in alignment with your values. You have that feeling in your gut, like something just happened. You didn't like how maybe you responded or reacted. You didn't like how it turned out. And you maybe need to just do some self-reflection on what just went down there. Okay. Same thing for a positive, exciting experience, right? You do the same thing. Understand, why are you so excited? Why are you so happy about this? What is it? Why is this bringing you so much joy? Okay, so it's really important. So reflect on past experiences, things you're proud of and things that you're, disappointed in yourself with. Okay. The next thing is to visualize your ideal day. Imagine a day where everything goes perfectly. And what are you doing? Who are you with? And this can really give you insights into what you value. I think about the perfect day or the ideal day. For me, it's different in different contexts or different situations. For example, last weekend, my husband and I were able to spend some time together. We went to the woods, we went for a walk, and that was amazing. Like that helped us reconnect. My marriage is a top value, a top priority. And for us to be able to connect and not be like distracted by kids or like having to take them somewhere was just amazing. So that was wonderful. I was living in alignment with that value. We were talking, we were, sharing ideas. We were out in nature, something he absolutely loves. And I love that I get to see him love nature. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you knew my husband, you would understand that. Okay, so that's just one example. What else is your ideal day? Another ideal day for me is spending time with my family, quality time down in one of our favorite places in South Carolina, which is Edisto, South Carolina, when we're all together, family first. Like I said, that's one of my important values, family focus, making those memories, being with family down in Edisto. I mean, I just absolutely love. That's an ideal day for me. Another type of ideal day is when I get to podcast, when the kids are in school, like in between clients, like at lunchtime and before I pick the kids up, if I have time to do a podcast episode, I love it. Like that's an ideal day for me when I get to interview somebody or create content or put something out into the world. Like that is an ideal day for me. And what does that represent of my values? I would say that represents creativity, having fun, as well as, time freedom. That's another one that's really important to me is being able to do the things that I love to do within the schedule that I have been allowed or created for myself. It doesn't happen every day. Like there's some weeks when, time freedom, it's not happening, but there are some times when I get that time freedom and I'm just so excited to have it and I want to use it the best that I can. Okay, so the next thing is ask yourself like really deep questions. So, what qualities do you admire in others? What activities make you lose track of time? And what are the non negotiables in your life? Ask yourself these deep questions. It's really important that you go deep with yourself. When you look around at your friends and I'm just, going to use women in midlife, when you look around at other women in midlife, maybe a couple years older than you, doing things that you want to be doing, what are those qualities about her that you look up to or that you would like to emulate or even learn more about? What are the qualities that she exhibits? What is she doing? How is she showing up? I mean, I really admire certain women in midlife that are, they're living by they're marching to their own beat. They're living by their own rules. I admire my friends midlife who are in the podcasting space who, they share amazing content. They're helping a lot of people. I'm looking at them and they're fearless. Like they're not afraid to put themselves out there and share sometimes things that not everybody wants to hear, right? But they're not afraid to put their truth out into the world. I absolutely love that. And then what are the non-negotiables in your life? Like another thing for me that I think about non-negotiable is health and wellness. That's another huge value for me. Optimal, vibrant health is just huge for me. So a non-negotiable is I'm going to get my workouts in. I'm going to eat healthy. It's like non-negotiable for me at 50 years old. Like it has to happen. And not just like for vanity reasons. No, of course not. But for my mental health, as well as, being able to challenge myself and to do new things. And for my health, like I just, went to the doctor not too long ago and she was like, check, everything's looking good. Knock on wood right now, I'm not taking any medications. I'm not having to take any type of, is it HRT? I'm not having to do those things. And I'm so grateful I'm not saying that I wouldn't do those things if the time and when it comes. I'm just saying like, because of the way that I have taken care of myself and continue to take care of myself, those things haven't been an issue because they've been a non-negotiable. I mean, pretty much since my late 20s. So that's a whole other podcast, y'all, maybe about like health and wellness and fitness. I know I talk a lot about that on other episodes, so you can always go back and find some other ones that I've done. But if you want more content on that, just let me know. Okay, so we've covered the ask yourself the deep questions. The next thing is you want to seek feedback. Sometimes those close to us can offer us insight into our values. You can ask a trusted friend or family what values they believe that you uphold. And, I haven't necessarily asked for that type of feedback. My husband, on the other hand, I've asked him for that type of feedback. And we do talk about values a good bit here. Like, what do we stand for? How do we, want to show up as parents? How do we raise our kids? And we work really hard to be on the same page with a lot of it. Not always, because we are two different people with two different pasts and life experiences. But yeah, so ask for feedback from those closest to you. They can probably, those that you trust, like ask the friends that you trust and that you feel are safe and that, you feel safe being vulnerable with. I wouldn't expect you to go and ask just anybody random that you don't know that well. Okay. Also, the last thing that you can do is you can write a personal mission statement. And this exercise can help you distill your values. What do you stand for? What impact do you want to have on the world? Okay. So the next part of this is once you have identified your values, look, the journey doesn't end there. It's about consistently aligning your actions with these values. So as you evolve, so might your values, and it's essential to visit them periodically. So regularly review your values. Also, you want to set boundaries because if something doesn't align with your values, it's okay to say no. You need to protect your energy and you need to protect your time. And of course, celebrate the small wins. Every time you make a decision or take action aligned with your values, celebrate it. It's a step towards authentic living. And here's the thing, it's like you can celebrate on your own. You don't have to put it out on social media that you've done something. Like, I think that's actually a sign of like humility and being humble. It's like just because you are doing something doesn't mean you necessarily have to share it out with the world. Like that to me, I don't know. I guess that's part of my value system. Like I want to be authentically and congruently living in my values for me, not putting it out on social media to get validation that I'm doing that. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if that resonates with you or not. And now, while understanding and living our values can be transformative, it's not always a smooth journey, right? It's not because life is going to throw us curveballs. So, what do we do when obstacles and challenges arise? Well, first of all, reconnect with those values because when you're faced with a challenge, take a moment, and I don't say a moment, take time to really, really reconnect with your core values. Ask yourself, how can I navigate this situation while staying true to what I believe in? Okay, I mean, that's probably a podcast all on itself, but how are you going to navigate a situation while staying true to what you believe in? Seek out support. You don't have to face these challenges alone. You can lean on your support system, whether it's friends, family, a professional, a coach. They can offer you perspective, guidance, and sometimes just an ear to listen. Also, can you reframe the challenge? Because every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. Instead of seeing it as a setback, can you view it as a chance to grow, learn, and further align with your values? I think that's really important. I think that if we weren't raised with that mindset, it can be kind of tough to adopt that, later in life. But we have to take a chance and reframing things and taking responsibility and ownership for what part do we play in this challenge and how can we, instead of seeing it as failure, see it as an opportunity for growth. I have done that so many times. I don't talk about it all the time because it's not something that I need to, I feel like, share with the world, but I do hit, setbacks. I do hit challenges, but I tried so hard to get support, stay open. I'm like, what is this teaching me? What is the lesson here? What do I need to do to move forward? Maybe I need to pivot my ideas a little bit, but as long as I'm staying true to my values, I feel like it's more exciting than it is scary. Gosh, I hope that makes sense for y'all. Okay, and don't forget, remember, it is okay to stumble because stumbling is fine. It's what's most important is how do you pick yourself back up? So treat yourself also with the same kindness and understanding as you would a dear friend who is also stumbling. And like I've already mentioned, staying flexible is important because while your core values may remain consistent, the way you express or honor them can evolve. So be open to adapting and finding new ways to live authentically, especially when faced with challenges. I think that's really important to stay flexible and to stay open. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but it's really important. And if you can adopt that mindset, it is going to take you so far. All right. And last but not least, challenges, though they are tough, they can be our greatest teachers. So they test our resilience, our commitment to our values, and ultimately they shape our journey. So embrace them, learn from them, and let them guide you closer to your authentic self. Okay, man, we covered a lot. I think, in a pretty short amount of time. So this is a lot of information to take in. And maybe you're like, yeah, Lisa, I'm on board. I love this kind of conversation, but I'm stuck. I don't know. You don't know how to do it, or you want help from somebody who can, coach you through it. Then I want to encourage you to reach out to me. We can set up a call to see if I am an appropriate life coach for you. Like I've told you guys many times, I work best with women 35 plus who are going through these types of issues, midlife issues, wondering what's going to happen next. Maybe you feel like you have more in you. You're not quite sure your kids are leaving, or maybe you're getting back into your career or even starting a new career, and you just want some help and you just want some guidance and you just want someone who is going to walk there with you and help you lay out a plan. I might be that woman for you. So go ahead and reach out to me. Where can you find my coaching form? Oh, you can find it I'll put a link in the show note if you want to connect and you want to see if I'm a fit. I would love to chat with you to see if I am the life coach for you. I hope y'all found this episode helpful. Don't forget to go over to YouTube and check out my new makeup. I'm loving the makeup. I actually got my hair done like last week. So I'm feeling really good in my skin, feeling real confident, feeling really great. Laura Geller, thank you. Thank you so much for creating this amazing makeup for women, 40 up or mature skin or whatever you call it. All right, y'all, take care. I have some amazing guests coming up for you really soon. So be sure to subscribe to the podcast. And I would love it if you would share it with a friend who you think might enjoy it as well. Have a great day, and I will see you or talk to you soon. Take care. The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is edited and engineered by Chelsea Weaver. If you're looking to start a podcast or ready to take the editing off of your plate, be sure to visit chelseaweaverpodcasting.com. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.